So what if you're just trying to take the bus home one day and you recognize this girl that's in your class who has this sort of look on her, but you think nothing of it and go on your way. The next day though, you see her with that same look and get worried, so you check on her in her seat and she's doing the complete opposite of what you were thinking. Well, that's the story of the doujin I have for you today. Let's Talk 430168, called Gyaro Girl Climaxes on the Bus. What the fuck? It's from the artist Bon Ho. I actually found this off of a certain subreddit, and the title for this was, "Ah yes, Dwight D. Eisenhower was reincarnated as a horny Japanese woman," and I thought that was funny. But it turned out to be an amazing read, and it's of course an exhibitionist one, so let's get right into it. The doujin starts out with a bus, and someone sees some girl that's part of a Gyaro army, then thinks back and how her name is Ike something, and she's the scariest among them. But she has this certain look today, and the two see each other, and he turns his head thinking he just got busted. It cuts to their school, and he sees that his seat's been taken over by the girl who's arguing with the group, and he just wants his lunchbox. And this happens for a bit, scaring the MC even more. So he just gives up on the lunchbox, but she sees him and asks her friends about him, whose name is Tsushima. He yawns and heads to the bus, complaining about being a health representative, but he sees Ike, who has the same look from before. He thinks she does look hot, and thinks that she may not be feeling well, and thinks what her friends will say if he doesn't do anything, and gulps down before walking up to her asking if she's alright, but sees her pressing her stomach and blushes. She starts to say something and yells at him to get off, and it cuts to the next day and Tsushima's being called, though he's thinking to himself about how he used her as fat material 6 times the day before while still getting called by someone. It's of course Ike, who yells at him to meet her behind the school building, and he thinks that she's gonna toaster bath him, but she apologizes for yesterday and he's confused. He spoke to her because he was worried and he hasn't told anyone, but she braced for the entire school to learn that she gets off on the bus and offers to pay him for keeping his silence, which he refuses. Then she goes more in depth about this, saying that it first happened when a folding umbrella and it helped her figure that out, and also says she releases at the speed bumps in front of the post office every day, which he thinks is hot, but she says that she's grateful that he's a nice guy, and he freezes. They say bye to each other, and it cuts to him thinking about her while getting on the bus, which is crowded, but he sees her with a guy sitting next to her, but doesn't think anything of it. The next stop is the post office though, and he turns his head to see her, and she has that same look and realizes. So he yells out to her, and she's shocked, and the guy next to her asks if he wants to take that seat since they're friends. So he does, and this random person is just being a complete Debbie Downer. He takes a seat, and she says what a nice guy, which he agrees, thinking that she's talking about the other guy. But she says that it's him, which he says no way, since he only did that because he saw her sexy face and immediately tries to take that back, though his blood flow says otherwise, and she says that pressing feels good, and he gets worried. They go over some speed bumps, and she relieved herself and leans on him. The bus comes to a stop, and he gets up to leave, but gets grabbed by her and asks what's up. She says it's 20 minutes to her house, and there's no one else on the bus after that, and offers to show her gratitude, and it's not like he could get off the bus with that. So he sits back down, and they do it on the bus, but they get off the bus and head to her place, and he realizes that he doesn't even know her first name, and they continue. He misses bus, and the doujin ends with them still doing it. Overall, I rate this an 8.5 out of 10. The art style is absolutely amazing, and so are the characters. It wasn't supposed to be a funny read, but it's so fucking funny. The story is fantastic as well. It's not a bad read at all, and I recommend you check it out for yourselves as always. That's all I got. I'll see you in the next one.
Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul. These hentai babes make me drool. Hasane Biku is great. She makes me masturbate. Fairy tale.